Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Israel, Yahweh Shem Shabrakatah. Officer Yawasop with an impromptu live, with an impromptu exhortation through the Spirit. Right? The Spirit came upon me to do this live real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's gonna be real quick because I gotta get ready for work. So the title of this lesson is gonna be "Put Away the Pride, Trust the Process, and Have Faith." Right? So heading into Passover, heading over to this Passover season, heading into this new moon, right? I want to exhort the brothers and sisters through the Spirit to put away that pride, right? Again, right? Put away that pride, right? Trust the process and have faith, right? So again, like I said, it's an impromptu class. It wasn't really planned. So bear with me through the Spirit, right? Planned as in within the last hour or so, but it wasn't nothing that I pre-planned before. So all praise to the Most High, right? Let's get the book of Romans, chapter 15, right? Book of Romans, chapter 15, and verse number 4, right? It says, right, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, right? So this is an exhortation for Israel, right? Like I say, heading into this Passover season, heading over to this new moon, right? Heading over to this new year that the Lord, right, has graciously blessed us with in these last days, right? To search the scriptures, right? To see, right, as if are you being patient or are you being impatient? Are you being prideful or are you being meek through the Spirit, right? Are you trusting the process of the Most High, right? Because in these last days, we actually got to have faith and trust in the Most High, right? Right? Let me get the book of Revelation, chapter 14, so I can, in verse number 12, right? It say, here is the patience of the saints, right? So it say the saints, right? The saints of the Most High, right, are supposed to have patience, right? Here are the patience of the saints, right? Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith in Yahweh Shai, right? So the patience, right, teaches us to have what? Well, it lets us know, Salakia, those who have patience are those that keep the commandments and have the faith in Yahweh Shai, right? Because without patience and without faith, right, the Most High is really not dealing with you, right? Let's get the book of James, right, chapter 1 and verse number 5. Actually, I'll start at verse number 2. It said, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, one to nothing, right? And we know as Israelites, right, as those that striving for the kingdom, men and women, man, woman, and child, right, that we have to strive for perfection, right? Christ told us, right, to strive for perfection, right? Let me get that, right? Let's get the book of Matthew, right, chapter 5 and verse number 48. It said, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. So like even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect, right? So we want to constantly strive for that perfection, right? And that perfection, right, helps us, right? In that perfection, right, we keeping the commandments, right, and we having the faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? So Christ would have never told us nothing that we couldn't do, right? Does that mean that you're not gonna fall, right? Does that you striving for perfection mean that you're not gonna fall, that you're not gonna mess up? No, that's not what that means, right? Right? Learning to be perfect, right, is falling, right, and learning to get back up again, right, and turning to repent, right? Because like I said, Christ would have never gave us nothing that we couldn't handle, right? Let me see what I'm saying. Right, book of Proverbs chapter 24 and verse number 16. It said, for a just man falleth 7 times, right? So that 7 times, right? It doesn't right? It's not a literal 7 times. It's not saying, okay, well, I fall once, I fall twice, fall 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Oh man, and it's over with. No, it's a completion, right? That number is completion, right? So it said a just man falleth 7 times, right? And rises up again. So as we continue to strive for perfection in these last days, right? As we continue to strive for perfection going into this Passover season or going into this new year, right? As we continue to strive for perfection, hey, we're gonna fall, right? You're gonna fall, right? But what do you say? That just man gets back up again. That's what makes that man perfect, right? Or that sister perfect, or that child perfect, because they're gonna they're gonna fall and they're gonna get back up again, right? Through the spirit, right? But it say, but the wicked shall fall into mischief, right? But those wicked people are gonna fall to the mischief. Hey, shalom, I don't want shalom, shalom, right? Hey, shalom, Elijah, right? Salakia, that's my phone going off, man. Right? Um, so with the like I said, the title of this lesson, right? It won't be a long lesson at all, right? It's impromptu. It says, right, to put away the pride, trust the process, and have the faith, right? And that's what we got to do in these last days. Put away our pride and trust the process of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? So let's get the book of Sirach. We're gonna get a couple classes. Sirach chapter 2 and verse number 10. It say, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded? Right? That's a rhetorical question, right? We look because we can search the scriptures back and forward, right? And we can see that nobody ever trusted in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua was confounded, right? Nobody ever said, you know what, I'm gonna follow the Lord, right? I'm gonna do everything that the Lord told me to do. And the Lord just kind of left them hanging. You know what I'm saying? Kind of overslept, right? We never seen that in the scriptures, right? The Lord said He's gonna do something. By all means, He's gonna do it, right? The Lord said, "Hey, you're gonna be destroyed. You're gonna be destroyed." Right? The Lord said you're gonna be a holy people. You're gonna be a holy people. You get what I'm saying? Right? The Lord said if you turn away and repent, right, and He's gonna have mercy on you. He's gonna do that thing. Right? He say so. Never. I'm gonna read it again. It say look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in His fear and was forsaken? Did anybody follow the law, statutes, commandments, and was forsaken? No, right? The Most High said He's gonna do it, and He did everything He said He was gonna do, right, through the Spirit, right? Reading on. And whom did He ever despise that called upon Him? Right? Right? Hey, if you got if anybody, you know what I'm saying, you coming back, it's only 3 people in here right now. But if you come up on this live, right, and you can show me something through the scriptures where somebody ever feared the Most High, somebody ever had faith in the Lord and Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and was confounded, right? You drop that in the comment section, man. Right? Drop that in the comment section because I've never seen it. Right? Right? All praises to the Most High, right? Let's get the book of actually, let's get the book of Judith, right? You're gonna get the book of Judith, right? Right? The book of Judith, chapter 8, right? Because the sister Judith, right, she trusted the process, right? And you got certain men in these days, right, that didn't trust the process, right? Who was kind of making haste in the time of trouble, as it tells us in Sirach chapter 2 to not to do, and also in James chapter 1, right? I don't know if I kept reading on that, right? But I'm gonna go back to it. It say, brother, James chapter 1 and verse number 3. It say, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Right? So it tells us, right, the trying of our faith worketh the patience. Right? So if you have faith and you have faith, it's going to teach you to be patient and to trust in the Lord and not make haste in the time of trouble. Right? So we're gonna go get the book of Judah, chapter 8, and we're gonna start at verse number 9. Right? So the backstory, I'm not gonna read the whole thing. So the backstory is that, right, it was a heathen by the name of Holofernes, right? Holofernes had came up against the children of Israel, right? And basically they rounded about the land at the time, right? And they stopped any victuals from going in and going out. So they were what they were doing, they were slowly but surely starving them out, right? So Israel started to murmur, right? Started to murmur as we normally do, right? We started to murmur. I mean, to be understandable. I mean, they was thirsty and they was starving, right? So they started to they went to the heads of the tribes or whatever, and the head of the tribe, which is Oziel. No, Salaki, that's not his name. I wrote it down here. What was the brother name? Ozias. Ozias. Let me see. Let me make sure that's right. Khan, that's right. Right. So the sister Judith, right? She kind of so the brother, I'm gonna get her finished giving the story. So Ozias had basically made a covenant, so to speak, made an agreement with Holofernes that if that they would come down in 5 days, right? That Israel would turn themselves over to these people in 5 days if the Lord hasn't delivered them, right? So he was kind of leaning to his own understanding, right? That he wasn't trusting the process. He wasn't having faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? He didn't go right and seek the counsel and pray to the Lord in that moment. So he kind of basically made a promise to do something that he wasn't supposed to do, right? So he was losing faith, or he was losing patience, right? So I'm gonna pick up in Judah chapter 5, Salakia chapter 8. I don't know why I keep saying 5. Judah chapter 8 and verse number 9. And it said, Salakia, actually, I actually want to read, I'm gonna start at verse number 4 because it shows how righteous of a woman that this sister Judith was, right? And I actually want to get that, right? It's the book of Judah, chapter 8 and verse number 4. It says, so Judith was a widow in her house 3 years and 4 months, and she made a tent upon the top of her house and put on sackcloth upon her loins and wear the widow's apparel. And she fasted all the days of her widowhood, save the eves of the Sabbaths and the Sabbaths, and the eves of the new moons, and the new moons, and the feast days and the solemn days of the house of Israel. So the sister Judith was keeping the law, statutes, commandments, man. She's keeping the feast days, man, but she fasted every other day, right? That's a mighty work. So somebody that's continually fasting, right, and praying and keeping the law, statutes, commandments, you know, the spirit of the Lord got to be mighty within them, right? Because Christ let us know. In matter of fact, let me get it. I'll get it real quick. All right, the book of Luke, chapter 17. All right, Luke chapter 17. Actually, no, I want Matthew 17. Book of Matthew, chapter 17. All right, bear with me. Matthew 17 and verse number. I'm gonna start at verse number 19. It say, then the disciples came to Yahushua apart and said, why could we not cast him out? Right. So the disciples had trouble casting out this wicked spirit that this brother's son was dealing with, right? So, hey, through the spirit, it's kind of the same thing. These brothers over here in Judah, right, kind of, hey, they was losing patience, they couldn't deliver Israel, right? They couldn't cast out these heathens, right? Right? So it said, verse number 20, and Yahweh said unto them, because of your unbelief, right? So just like over in Judah, these brothers had an unbelief, right? Because they kind of put the Lord on the timeline, right? They say, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as the grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out but by prayer and by fasting, right? So the sister Judith, right, had no shortage on fasting, man, right? So that's something that we could all learn from, right? Because I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it honest. This sister could outfast me any day of the week right now, right? This sister fasted mightily, man. Right? If you go through the numbers, I haven't done the math on this, man, but it's, hey, man, Judith fasted over 100 some days a year, right? Like, again, yeah, for sure, right? She fasted over 100, maybe 200 some days a year, right? But through the spirit, right, this sister was built up, right? Hey, Shalom, Elder Ray, Shalom, Yahweh Shabrakatah, right? So the sister Judith was built up through the spirit, right? So I'm gonna jump down to verse number 9. It said, now when she heard the evil words of the people against the governor, that they fainted for lack of water. For Judith had heard all the words of Ozias had spoken unto them, and that he had sworn to deliver the city unto the Assyrians after 5 days. Then she sent her waiting women that had Salakia, that had the government of all things, of all things that she had, to Ozias and to what's this, Cabris and Carmis, the ancient of the city. Right? So she called the ancients of the city, the governors of the city, right? And let's jump down to verse number let me see. I'm gonna read verse number 11, right? And they came unto her, and she said unto them, hear me now, O ye governors of the inhabitants of Bethulia, for your words that ye have spoken before the people this day are not right, touching this oath which ye have made and pronounced between God and you, and have promised to deliver the city to our enemies, unless within the days the Lord turn to help you. Right? So, like I said, right, the sister, hey, she admonished these brothers, man, because hey, you're not supposed to be making these type of deals, man. We're not supposed to be what is that? I can't think of it on top of my head. Tempting the Lord, right? So so you basically get the Lord a timeline. You basically make sure to make the Lord move on your time. The Lord don't move on our time, right? The Most High moves when He wants to move, right? So the sister Judith, hey, she told them brothers, man, you going off by telling telling the heathen that we gonna turn the city over to y'all if the Lord save you in 5 days, right? Let me see. Verse number 12. He said, and now who are ye that have tempted God this day and stand instead of God among the children of men? She's like, who do you think you are, man? Right? What kind of pride do you have? Right? Who do you think you are to tempt the Most High God, man? To say if He doesn't help you within these certain amount of days, that you're gonna turn over His inheritance, His children, to these uncircumcised heathens, man. Right? Let me see for verse number 14. Now I'm gonna start at verse number 13. He said, and now try the Lord Almighty, but ye shall never know anything, for ye cannot find the depth of the heart of man, neither can ye perceive the things that he thinketh. Then how can ye search out God, that He hath made all things, and know His mind, or comprehend His purpose? Nay, my brethren, provoke not the Lord our God to anger. She said, you can't even search. You don't even know what's on a man's mind, right? You don't know what a man thinks. So who are you to think that you know what the Most High has planned for us, right? Who are you to say that, hey, if you got you give the Lord a 5-day deadline to come save us as a people? Who are you to do that, right? The Most High could wait as long as He wants to, but as soon as them heathens come up, He can destroy them on His time, right? So the sister is kind of rebuking them for that, right? Because they pride, they not trusting the process, and they not exhibiting faith, right? Let's jump down to I'm gonna jump down to verse number I'm gonna jump down to verse number 17. Right? I'm gonna verse number 16, Salaki. It say, do not bind the counsels of Yahweh power, for God is not man, that he may be threatened, neither is he as the son of man that he should be wavering. Right? So the Most High cannot be threatened, man. Right? Hey, your arms is too short to box with the Most High God. Right? Who are you to say that if the Most High don't save us, right, you're gonna turn the city over? Hey, and who are these heathens to say, hey man, we gonna turn against the Most High's chosen people? You feel what I'm saying? Right? So the sister Judith understand these things, right? You say verse number 17, therefore let us wait for the salvation of him. Right? So us as a people, right, we have to wait for the salvation of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Right? We have to put away the pride. We have to trust the process. Right? We have to have faith, right? And that's what she's telling these brothers, right? I'm gonna jump down to verse number verse number 24, right? It said, now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, right? Because their hearts depend on us, and sanctuary and the house and the altar rest upon us, right? And us as people in this truth, right? We never know who's watching us, who's looking for it, who's looking to you for guidance. It's somebody that you don't even know is looking from afar on Instagram or on Facebook, right? Or a family member that you haven't really spoken to in about years, or old high school buddy that you haven't spoken to in over 10, 15 years. We had a brother actually, Captain Yahweh, say a brother hit him up that he ain't spoke to in about 15 years. That he's kind of been paying attention to, trying to figure out what he's into, right? Because he kind of been watching from afar off, right? And that's real quick. Let me get a scripture on that. Let me get the book of Luke. Actually, let me get the book of Matthew. Right, this one in Luke. This one get this in Matthew, chapter 5 and verse number 5 and verse number 14. It says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid." Right. So us as children, right, of the Most High, as leaders in this community, right, whether it's man or woman, right, and some of our children are leaders in their community. As far as when you go back down to high schools, and the children and the people of the world see our light, right? They see us. They look into us for guidance, man, because they notice it's something different about these people over here, right? These brothers are never too worried about nothing, right? They always these sisters are, they kind of well mannered, right? They dress a little different. You get what I'm saying? Because we trust in the process of the Most High, right? We doing it. We keeping the law, statutes, commandments, right? So we got a little different walk to it. We got different swagger to it. You get what I'm saying, right? So it say verse number 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and give it light unto all that are in the house, right? Let your light shine so before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven, right? So the sister Judah, right, told these brothers, right? He said, now therefore, brethren, this is Judah 8:24 again. Now therefore, brethren, now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, because their hearts depend on us, right? So us, as we putting away our pride in these last days, as we trust in the process and having faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, right? We are an example to our brethren. And from afar, whether they like it or not, whether they like it, well, I guess whether they like it or not, or whether they show it or not, is what I really initially wanted to say, right? Whether they show it or not, they depending on you. They depending on us as Israel, as followers of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, to see the way in which we are supposed to behave ourselves, right? So if you are a person that's moving in pride, right, you're actually teaching them an evil lesson, right? If you're not trusting the process, you're not having faith, right? You're not showing them, you're darkening your light, man. You're teaching them wickedness, right? Because the Most High God told us that in John chapter 1, right? John chapter 1 is 1 and verse number 6. He say, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed with the wind. Salakia. For let that man think that he shall, Salakia, for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. Right? So if we moving, right, opposite of the way the Most High told us to do, and we moving in a lack of faith, right, the Most High is not dealing with you. So you also teaching the people, right, a lesson that's contrary to the Most High. Right? So they gonna be wavering just like you, because they think that you, as an Israelite person, as an Israelite man, woman, or child, right? This is how I'm supposed to behave. This is how I'm supposed to be acting. This is the example, right? That this person with the fringes or the hair wrap is leading. That's leaving me. This is I'm gonna follow that lead, right? But us as we continue, right, to follow, right? So like as we continue to follow the law, statutes, commandments, and having the faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? They get to see the Most High through us, right? Let's get the book of go back to the book of Judah, go back to the story, right? The book of Judah, chapter 5. So I keep wanting to say 5, right? Chapter 8, and verse number 25. It say, moreover, let us give thanks to the Lord our God, which trieth us, even as he did our fathers, right? So these brothers and sisters had to understand that the Most High was trying us, right? And us moving, right, as we continue to strive for the kingdom in these last days, we got to understand that the Most High God, he is trying us, right? He's making sure that we worthy of getting this kingdom. He's making sure that he's getting us prepared for the things to come. Right? Let's get the book of I ain't write this down. Let's get the book of Second Edges, chapter 7 and verse number 9. Let me see. Right? Yeah, start at verse number 9. It say this book of Second Edges, chapter 7 and verse number 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before, how shall he receive his inheritance? Right? So we never pass through the dangers, right? Of whatever the world has, or whatever the wiles of the devil has in store for us, right? If we never actually are given a choice to do evil or do good, how do we know? How does the Most High know that we worthy of this thing, right? And that's the same thing that the sister Judith is relaying to these brothers, to the governors of the people, right? And let's give thanks to the Most High because he's trying us in this moment. Right? Let me get the book of Second Peter. Second Peter. All right, let me get the book of Second Peter, chapter 2. Actually, First Peter chapter 2 and verse number 20. It says, for what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, if ye take it patiently? But if when ye do well and ye suffer for it and ye take it patiently, this is acceptable before God. So the sister is letting them know, man, through the Spirit, hey, all praise to the Most High, because the Most High has given us an opportunity, right, to show our trustworthiness. He's given us hey, shalom, Soldier Antonio. He's given us an opportunity to prove ourselves. He's proven us through the Spirit to make sure we're gonna have faith in him. Are we gonna lead by example to those that's following us? Or are we gonna crumble? Right? Are we really gonna trust the process? Right? Verse number 26. It say, remember, Salaki, this is going back to Judas chapter 8 and verse number 26. It says, remember what things he did to Abraham and how he tried Isaac and what happened to Jacob in Mesopotamia of Syria, when he kept the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother. Right? So the sister's versed in the scriptures, man. The sister's been fasting. She's been keeping the high holy days. She's up to date on the accounts, right? And us as Israelites striving to be perfect, striving to get this kingdom, we have to follow that same example of this foremother Judah, right? So she's admonishing these brothers, and she's also exhorting them through the Spirit as well, right? To tell them, hey, let's all praise to the Most High. He's trying us. He's finding us worthy right now, seeing if we worthy, right? And she's telling them to remember the days of old, right? As I'm sitting here telling you, to exhorting you through the Spirit to remember the days of old, right? And have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahshua, right? So the sister Judith, she understood this process, man. Right? Verse number 27 is the book of Judah, chapter 8, and verse number 27. For he had not tried us in the fire as he did them. For this examination of their hearts, neither hath he taken vengeance on us, but the Lord doth scourge them that come near unto him to admonish them. Right? So she said, hey, we ain't going through the things that these people went through. Which one of us has had to nearly sacrifice our son to prove that we love the Most High? None of us has had to do that. Which one of us had to work 14 years for the wife that we actually wanted? None of us had to do that, right? So through the Spirit, the sisters, she's exhorting these brothers through the Spirit, man, to let them know, hey, you got to have this faith, right? Because let's get the book of Psalms, right? Get the book of Psalms, right? Chapter 37 and verse number 25, right? Right, this is the book of Psalm chapter 37 and verse number 25. He said, I have been young and now I am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Right? And it's the same thing. Hey, the sister Judith understands that. And you as an Israelite, man, woman, or child have to understand that thing as well. Right? The brother David, right, our forefather David said he's been young, right? And now he's an old man, and he's never seen the righteous forsaken or the seed of or the seed begging bread. Right? So we get it's been times where in these last days we get a little behind on the rent, we get a little behind on the mortgage, right? We get things don't go as you thought they were gonna go, as you planned. Right, we start to get a little shaky, right? But we have to remember, right? We have to trust the process. We're being tried, right? You are being tried, right? Is the Most High gonna forsake you? Are you being buffeted for your faults? Are you just being tried? Are you being chastised for something that you've done, right? Or is the Most High trying? Right? So ultimately, you have to answer that question. But either way, you still have to trust the process, because the Most High, right, is striving to make you a perfect person, right? He's doing what he's refining you, right? And we are being refined to get the kingdom, right? Right. Let's get the book of I think it's First Kings. All right, let me see. I didn't write this one down. Let me see. Salakia, bear with me, Israel. Bear with me. All right, bear with me real quick. Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha. All right. Let me see. Let me see. All right, we're going to get the book of First Kings, chapter 18. Oh my goodness. Salakia, we're gonna get the book of verse numbers, 1 King chapter 19. Nah, I won't verse number 18. So. King chapter 18. Make sure I can. Salaki, I didn't scribe this one down right. See, 1 King chapter 18. Yeah. All right. I'm about to go. I'm about to drop that account. All right. I didn't scribe that one down correct. Right. So ultimately, what we want to do, right? We want to trust the process of the Lord, right? We want to have faith that the Most High is going to deliver us through tribe of five, shalom. All praise to the Most High. Right? We want to have faith that the Most High is going to deliver us, right, through anything that we're going to go through as a people, right? Because the Most High, like I brought out, right, in a few of these accounts, right, that the Most High has never been the Most High has never forsaken anybody that trusts in Him, right? The Most High has never forsaken anybody that's ever trusted Him, and He's in the seed of the Most High has never begged bread before, right? Actually, I found the account that I was looking for. All right, we're going to 1 Kings chapter 21, right? In verse, right? We can start at verse number 1, right? So this is an account, right? When the King Ahab, right? He kind of was in his pride, and he wanted something that he wasn't supposed to have. So he adhered to unwise counsel, right? And in his pride, a man was killed, right? Actually, I ain't gonna get into that, right? I'm not gonna get into that. But he adhered to wise counsel. So the point of what I was gonna go into that is to make sure that you got righteous people around you, right? Because I'm kind of short on time. I've already been 40 minutes. All right. So right. So we want to make sure that we got the right people around us, right? That's gonna tell us the right thing. That's gonna exhort us through the Spirit, right? That's gonna tell you, hey, brother, hey, sister, hey, shorty, you gotta trust the process of the Most High, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 37, right? Sirach chapter 37, and we're gonna get verse number 8. I'm gonna start at verse number 8. It said, beware of a counselor and know before what need he had. For he will counsel for himself, lest he cast a lot upon thee. Right? So everybody is not going to give righteous counsel. Right? Everybody's counsel is not to be trusted. Right? You can't go to your brother in the world or your sister in the world to get counsel on how to be more spiritual. They're not going to be able to do you that. They're not going to be able to do nothing for you in that regard. Right? You can't go to a glutton, right, in regard of losing weight, man. Right? They're not gonna, hey, there's nothing they can do for you, right? You kind of going to the person like, hey man, I need to kind of I need help on spiritual aspects, or I need help on how to treat my wife, I need help on how to treat my husband. But you going to a person that's saying F these niggas, F these women, I don't need them. right? So you want to beware of the counsel that you get. You want to make sure that we receiving righteous counsel, right? So sometimes you have to put away your pride and go to that person you know going to give you the advice that you need, not the advice that you want to hear, right? We're going to go to verse number, Sirach chapter 37 and verse number 12. He say, but be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry, right? So you want to be with those people, right, who's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, who's actually striving to put away that pride, who's trusting the process and having faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, right? Those are the things that you want to do, right? Because they're going to tell you to endure, right? Those are the things they're going to tell you to search the scriptures, right? Let's get the book of First Timothy, right? Second Timothy, Salaki, Second Timothy, right? Chapter 4, right? Book of Second Timothy, chapter 4, and verse number 3, right? And the reason I say this is because, hey, man, it's easy for you to go to somebody, right? It's easy for you to go to someone, right, and get advice that you want to hear. It's easy for you to do that. And in these last days, a lot of our brothers and sisters are doing exactly that. You know what I'm saying? Right? So let's get the book of Second Timothy, chapter 4, and verse number 3. Right? It says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own heart's lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. Right? So a lot of us, a lot of our people, right, in these last days are going about finding the doctrine, right, that's pleasing to the flesh. Right? Well, they say I could put away my wife over here. Right? Well, they said over here that I can eat pork, right? What they saying over here, right? You don't have to keep all the law. You don't have to keep all the feast days. I don't have to keep the Shabbat over here. I can continue to go to work, right? Some people are, hey, they're going into they giving into their flesh, right? And they turning away from the sound doctrine of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? Verse number 4, it says, and they turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables, right? So, hey, some people that they don't want to trust the process. Some people don't want to have, hey, they don't want to go through the mud, right, to get through where they need to go. Some people don't want to go through the fire, right? Some people don't want to have faith. Some people just want to give up, right? But hey, the Most High is not dealing with that, right? Verse number 5, he say, but watch thou in all things, endure affliction, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of the ministry, right? So we want to endure afflictions, right? Things are not always going to be easy for us, right? So we have to put away that pride and trust the process of the Most High, right? I know I keep saying it, but I kind of want to drill that thing in your head, right? So what we want to do, we want to but watching all things, endure affliction, right? Do the work of an evangelist and make full proof of that ministry, right? So we're going to go through things, right? We're going to go through things, right? And ultimately, we have to look at it as if the Lord is just trying you out to make sure you're worthy of things to come in the future, right? Which is the kingdom, right? Let's get the book of Job, chapter 33, and verse number. I'm gonna start at verse number 12. All right, let's start at verse number 13, right? Brother Gino got a precept. I'm gonna get this precept. Salaki. Get brother's precept. Salaki, if I miss any other precepts. Since y'all here with me, I'm gonna pull your precept. All right, it's the book of Romans, chapter 4, and verse number 14. And you see, you say, if they which are of the law be heirs, faith is made void, and the promise made a none. because the law worketh wrath. I don't know what he's trying to do. What you trying to say with that? I don't know what I did to go into that. Yeah, I don't know what he went to that for. That wasn't a part of what we was getting into. But anyway, right? We're gonna we exhort the brothers and sisters through the Spirit, right? Right. So we're gonna go to right Job chapter 33, and we're gonna get verse number. Let's see, verse number 13. He say, "Why does thou strive, Salaki? Why does thou strive against him? For he giveth not account of any of his matters. For God speaketh once, yea twice, yet a man perceiveth not." Right? So, hey, who are we to strive against what the Most High is doing in our lives in these last days? Right? Who are we, right, to question Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? Who are we to not trust the process? Who are we to not have faith? Right? The Most High said in Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse number 11 that he knows the thoughts that he thinks towards us, thoughts of peace, right? To give us an expected end. Right? So if we know that we have an expected end, right, and the Most High has thoughts of peace towards us, right? Why are we losing faith? Why are we getting upset when the Most High make us go through the things that we go through? Right? Why are we scoffing at the chastisement of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua? Right? Why is that? Right? I'm gonna read on. He say, "For the God speaketh once, yea twice, yet a man perceived it not." So, because he's spoken to us, he's given us ample opportunity, right, to understand the things that we're going through. He's given us ample opportunity to follow, to keep the law, statutes, and the commandments, to know that we should have faith, right? And some of us still continue. Some of us go off. Some of us kind of venture off to the left hand or the right hand side sometimes, instead of staying on the straight and narrow path, right? So some of us are, we're gonna go through things, right? Verse number 15, he speaks to what he says, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. Right? So the Most High speaks to us in many different ways. He spoke to the prophets in dreams, right? He sent a seer or a prophet, right, to come talk to a person, right? And he's talking us through the scriptures, right? Right, and he's kind of giving us the instruction on what we're supposed to be doing, or how we're supposed to conduct ourselves, or how much faith we're supposed to be having, right? Verse number 17, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from that man, right? So the Most High is really trying to hide pride from us, to pull us out of our pride, right? To let us lean onto him, right? And not lean on our own understanding. That's going into Proverbs chapter 3 and verse number 5, if I remember correctly, right? Make sure, right? Proverbs, that's that scripture. We say trust, Proverbs 3 and 5, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to thy own understanding, right? In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path, right? So the Most High is trying to remove us from our pride, right? He's trying to build us up through the Spirit, right? He's trying to build us up and get us ready for the ultimate prize, for the ultimate goal, which is to get in the kingdom of the Lord, right? Verse number 18, he keepeth back his soul from the pit and his life from perishing by the sword. So the Most High, his goal is to not destroy us. He wants to keep us back from the pit. He doesn't want to destroy you, right? He wants you to trust the process, but we have to remove the pride from that, from ourselves, right? We have to have faith, right? Verse number 19, he is chastened also upon the pain. He is chastened also with pain upon his bed, and with the multitude of his bones with strong pain, so that his life abhorred bread, and his soul dainty meat. His flesh consumeth away, that it cannot be seen, and his bones that were not seen stick out. right? So sometimes, hey, the Most High makes us go through certain things, right, to save us, right, so that we could, hey, so we can come out of our pride, so we can have faith in Him, so we can do the things that He told us to do, so we can be an example to another person on how we may get through these things. Because Sirach 33 and verse number 17 lets us know that we labor not for ourselves only, but for all those that seek learning, or for all those that seek wisdom, whichever the last word is, right? So the Most High takes us through certain things to remove the pride from us, right? Let's jump down to verse number 27, right? He said, He looketh upon all men, right? He looketh upon all men. And if any say, I have sinned and perverted that which is right, and it profited me not, He will deliver his soul from going into the pit, and his life shall see the light. Lo, all these things worketh God oftentimes with man, to bring his soul back from the pit, right? To be enlightened with the light of the living, right? So ultimately, what the Most High wants us to do, right, is to be perfect, right? To put away our pride, right? To trust the process, to have faith, right? To put away your pride by saying, look, I've sinned, I've done perversely, and turn back to the ways of the Lord, of having faith in the Lord, right? Because the Most High is not going to do anything evil towards anybody, right? The Most High say He's gonna He know the thoughts that He think you thoughts of peace, right? He's gonna have thoughts of peace towards you, but it's certain things that we have to do, right? Which is put away the pride, trust the process, and have faith, right? Let me get the book of Job chapter 34, right, in verse number 12, right? And it says, Yea, surely God will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. So the Most High, if you turn away, right? If you turn away, we turn away from the wickedness, right? If we have faith in the Lord, the Most High is not going to do wicked things towards us, man, right? The Most High said He's going to do something. He's going to give us, He's going to make us high, right? He's going to put us on high above all nations. He's going to do that thing, right? He said He's going to have mercy on us, right? If we keep the law, statutes, commandments, and have faith in Christ, then He's going to do that, right? So ultimately, us as Israel, right? I'm going to say it again, right? Put away the pride, trust the process, right? And have faith, right? It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30, Salaki, chapter 25, and verse number 12. Again, that's Sirach, chapter 25, and verse number 12. It says, The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of His love, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto Him, right? By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. So, all praises to the Most High, right? Us as Israelites, right? I want brothers and sisters heading into this new year, right? Heading into this Passover season, right? To trust the Most High, have faith in Him, right? Cleave unto the Most High, right? All praises to the Most High, right? Let me get the book of Daniel, chapter 7. Book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verse number 18. I'm gonna close it out. It say, But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. All praises to the Most High. Hope this was edifying and exhorting through the Spirit. Shalom.